Today I'm going to be reacting to the Netflix original Bridgerton. It's one of the more popular shows. It has quite the following and audience. This scene is from season 2, episode 3 between Anthony and Kate. It is the bee sting scene. I'm going to be pointing out stuff that is acting related in their performance, but also some of the technical things that go into the making of a scene like this. Let's see how they did and what they did in this scene.
My lord?
Miss Sharma.
So right now I'm going to stop because I want you guys to think about this. There's so many things for an actor to be thinking about during a performance. One is the performance itself, yes, but there are so many other things at play to make something look beautiful and sound beautiful and line up blocking-wise and continuity. So one of the things is this kind of master shot here, this wide shot. Obviously she comes, she gets off the horse, she's walking into this scene. But I want you guys to pay attention to the blocking and where they have to end up. All of this is going to be choreographed ahead of time. So before they start filming this, they do a blocking rehearsal. And that blocking rehearsal is going to be going through the steps nice and slow to see when things are going to line up, where a dialogue is going to be said, when that movement happens, when they come together, when they walk together, and where they stopped. All of that is pre-choreographed prior to them getting into recording an actual take. So the actors aren't just thinking about what to say in the performance and being connected. They're also thinking about the blocking that they have to hit.
Is your sister...
She is in her room. Not feeling her best this morning, it seems.
I'll even point out how the actors have their hands. His are behind his back, hers are kind of locked in front. Those actors would have had to have been consistent with that all day long when they filmed this scene. This is not filmed one time. They probably filmed this 30 times from all different angles and all different setups. So far, I think I've seen 2.
I did not mean to disappoint her last night, and I did not declare myself.
And I would like to thank you for not doing
She shall not be disappointed for long. You must assure her I still intend to propose. And last night was a lark at best. My brothers were up to no good, and everyone's sitting there, staring back at me, and, well, my feelings would not allow me to speak.
So right there, he's kind of postured in, it was a mistake, it's not going to happen again. He's very definite about what he needs to fix and how he's going to correct this, but still move forward in that exact same direction. This obviously sets up some conflict with what we're going to get into shortly.
So your feelings are too strong for you now?
All right, so we'll pause there. So you could see that the actress comes around and she does this banana turn to get back in front of him. So on set, that's what they would call that. She's got to kind of come around and arch back into that scene so that they get 50-50 and they're on this plane now. That sets us up for...
No, no. All you are doing, my lord, is toying with the emotions of an impressionable young lady.
Miss Edwina seems perfectly capable.
This shot here, which we'll see again. So this is called a 2-shot. It's a 50-50 shot. But you see how we're looking through now this kind of corridor here, which later on we're going to see that open up. So the actors had to have blocking so that when they're walking and talking together and she flips around, they land exactly at this point. So this is where it has to be pre-choreographed, because if they were off a foot that way or off a foot that way, this shot that they wanted to get wouldn't work.
Perfectly capable of forming her own impressions. Perhaps if you took notice...
So now you claim to know my sister better than me.
I know she wishes to be happy.
This is precisely what I wish for her. I can assure you, happiness is not your strength. Exasperation, perhaps. Vexation, most definitely. The only feeling you are in fact capable of engendering, my lord, is that of discontent. Do not tell me
stand still,
what
damn
to
it.
do!
If you guys have seen this, you know why this bee would be so significant or provoke so much of a significant and profound reaction from Anthony in this scene. which is that his father had gotten stung by a bee and had a reaction to that and died. So this is really causing some kind of PTSD triggering reaction for him. But it's set up. The writers have put this in intentionally. Why? Because it's going to put him into a situation that is going to force him to respond. And his knee-jerk reaction is to want to save her. You wouldn't save somebody that you didn't care about, that you wouldn't be destroyed if you lost them. And so this reaction and this scene is built around this interaction where he has to make a choice that maybe he didn't even know how much he did like her or love her until he got to see what his reaction was in this moment when her life was at stake. So they present us an opportunity that these characters get to deal with, and that's kind of the catalyst for where we end up.
No, do not do
This is only a bee. Ow!
Point out that this bee is obviously a post-production thing, so the actor has to respond to something that's not actually there. Again, this would be choreographed ahead of time, where that bee was going to land, where that eye line would be on their shirt, where that sting would take place in the middle of it, so both actors know where to look and how to look once that bee is placed in later on in post-production.
Are you hurt?
What?
Can you breathe?
It is only a sting, of course.
Are you certain?
My lord.
No, do not.
My lord.
Do not.
I am unharmed. I am unharmed.
So in this moment, she's grabbing his hand, she's taking it, and she's placing it on her chest to show him that she's okay. So one is it gives him a reaction to go, I care about you so much, I want to protect you, I want to know that you're okay. This also gives this character the opportunity to see how much he cares about her. And now they get to do this little dance in here that reveals to these characters, it reveals to the audience how deeply they actually do care about each other. Now we have this symmetry thing going on. We have the hand here, we got the hand there. I mean, it's bringing us together. Now we're back out in this 50-50 shot. So you can see that we see this mirrored action here, and this is all determined by the director before they start filming. So the director puts together a shot list, and they know that they want that frame. And they're even going to storyboard this out, and they're going to have, sometimes it's cartoonish drawings where you're going to see those characters in that frame, how this is laid out. Then they go the day of, and they execute that shot list. So again, all of this is predetermined. The actors are on board, all of the crew is on board, the director is on board, and then they go and get this. You can see how beautiful this shot is laid out and how we see these characters connected in this way for the very first time in this series.
It was just a bee.
Now again, she's a damsel in distress, at least from his side, and he came to rescue her. Even though she is not going to have the reaction to the bee like the father did, she knows that he came to her rescue. I want you guys to notice how the shots are getting tighter. We're moving in, we're moving in, we're moving in. It creates this intimacy between the two of them where we're just up in their eyes, where they're connecting. The shots are getting tighter, they're physically getting tighter. We're literally locked in almost nose to nose here. And as soon as we break, which is the sound of the horse, all of a sudden we're back into this wider shot. So the intimacy grew, the shot became tighter and tighter. Visually, that sells. We're up. We're getting caught up in that romance. They almost kiss. And right before they do, it's getting broken by this horse and the fact that there's other people around and nobody can see what we just almost got caught up into. We break that also visually with a wider shot coming out of it. So they break between the characters, but also visually, we break with the shot. Also with the music. And that right there is the shot that I was talking about. You can see the symmetry behind it. You can see that this little pathway is right in the middle of frame. And that whole choreographed thing where they have to walk into this scene and she's got to banana around into that turn was also that they would be perfectly symmetrical right in this corridor to get this amazing shot right here. This is all pre-planned way ahead of time. There are no accidents on a set like this. And there we have it. We're on the other side of the wall. It's another setup. We see her walk through that corridor, and she gets to sit with her thoughts about what just happened, what just took place, and how she feels about that. It's a great scene, but it's also a great example of what they do to create that, that cinematic magic. It's all pre-planned, it's all thought out, it's all very intentional. The actors have their performance, but they also have to be on with how they're gonna film this, what this is gonna look like, the blocking of it, the shot list from the director, and the entire creative team works together to make that magic happen right there. If you guys haven't before, like and subscribe. We got a lot of other videos like this on our channel. We will do more in the future. Click the bell and get those notifications when they come out. We'll see you guys on the next one.